We lost the playoff game. Our season ended there. For most people, season over, game lost, time to move on. But when I went back and watched this game, what stood out wasn't the loss. It was how often we were in the right place, making the right decisions, against the best team in the league. In this video, we will take a look at why the system held up, even though the result didn't go our way. The first drive of a game is always important for an offense, so on this drive, we weren't trying to be aggressive. We were trying to figure out the answers to the test. Watch the motion here. We're trying not to trick anyone, we're just trying to see how the defense responds. And this is what I mean by system holding up. Nothing flashy, but we got clarity before the snap, which means no panic post-snap. You will see a ton of pre-snap motion, some auto motion, some motion I create myself, but the goal is to get clarity pre-snap to help our post-snap decision making. Watch how the defense adjusts once we motion the tight end across the formation. The defense rolls from a 1-high safety look into a 2-high look, which tells me the middle of the field is probably going to be open. My opponent has sat in zone coverage on this drive and has done a nice job using coverage shells to create confusion for our offense. No matter what the defense is in, the goal is to get clarity pre-snap and take what the defense gives us post-snap. As we get down in the red zone, things get pretty tight, but the goal is to make smart decisions and get points on the board. With tighter throwing windows, we really want to utilize our spacing and get the ball out quick. RPOs can be money in this area of the field, but the key is to make the right decision. The wrong decision almost cost us here. Watch how the motion forces the defense to react. I had multiple options on this play and decided to hit the post, but threw a bad pass, which almost cost us yet again. That's 2 plays in a row that could have easily been turnovers due to poor decision making. Luckily, we were still able to get 3 points out of this drive. Our second drive of the game starts after a huge defensive turnover, giving our offense a short field to work with. This first play here is what I would label as a bad play call. I only chose this play because the play clock was low and I did not want to get a delay of game penalty, and you see the result. Sitting in second and long, the thought process here is to just make third down more manageable. We took what the defense gave us and managed to score a much needed touchdown. Now let's take a look at our third drive of the game. We've got about a minute before the half and we get the ball, so we're looking to go in with momentum on our side. Unfortunately, poor decision making kept the momentum in our opponent's hands. We've got 9 seconds before the half. We cannot turn the ball over here. Let's muster up what we can and try to get in field goal range to help lessen this margin. Speed kills, baby. We were able to make it a 1-possession game before the half, but I've got to remember not to force decisions. Take what the defense gives us, get the ball in our playmakers' hands. Watch how the motion forces the defense to react. Our route combo helps create space, which then opens up the middle of the field for a big game. This play is a perfect example of how motion affects the defense. Earlier in the game, I ran a similar play where I swung the ball out off an RPO. Here you see the user take away the swing route, making our post-snap decision-making much easier. As much as I love pre-snap motion, I also like to keep my opponent on their toes so they cannot predetermine what is coming next.
Catch, boy.
We are back inside the red zone at a key moment in the game. Good decisions are paramount in this area of the field. We send the motion pre-snap and just hand the ball off to keep the defense honest. We didn't have success on first down, so now I am thinking this is 4-down territory. We cannot have any negative plays. We have to keep the down and distance manageable, and we must get points.
first.
I missed the touchdown, but watch how the corner plays on the right side. I took note of how shallow the corner was on the previous play and made an adjustment just in case we got the same look. Turns out we made the right decision.
Oh,
Starting a new drive, our offense is in a groove, and we just have to continue to make good decisions. That means running the ball even when you have relied heavily on the pass.
go. Good block. Oh,
I didn't like how the defense looked versus what I called on offense, so I decided to go to a play I scored on earlier in this area of the field. But this time the defense was ready. 2nd and long. We don't need a first down on this play, but we must have positive yardage.
catch.
This play is a great example of poor clock management. I took too long to call the play coming out of the huddle and didn't have time to make the pre-snap adjustments I wanted.
Damn.
Back in 2nd and long. I cannot have any more negative plays on this drive.
It is.
I missed my read on the slant, and yep, you guessed it,
Yo,
a
what is
negative
going
play.
on?
I knew my opponent would be using the safety. I just didn't think it would turn out like
Yeah,
this.
let's go.
And now the pressure is on. A 2-point play to tie the game. I go sprint out action to the left, but the defense locks up our initial read, so I decided to scramble with the quarterback, which was the right decision, but the result was so disappointing. Yeah, it's a game of inches.
What?
Just under 2 minutes left in the game, down 2 scores. We've got to move, and we've got to move quickly. Pushing the ball down the field is going to be tough because the defense is aware that we need big yardage and we need it quick. Although time is not on our side, I decided to run the ball here because the defense was expecting pass. At this point, I've ran 2 plays in 20 seconds and have only gained 16 yards. Hats off to the defense, but I've got to get bigger chunks to give our team a chance.
Ain't no way. Ain't no. I was about to say.
Big time drop on first down, but we are still alive and focused on making good decisions. A minute and some change left. We've got to have a big play.
Yeah. You got it though.
Inside the red zone, the pressure is on. I want to make more adjustments pre-snap, but time is ticking.
There it is. Get in the end zone.
My opponent called a timeout to get his defense in a better position, which was a smart move. I have to do a better job of seeing the field and taking what the defense gives when in the red zone. I had a wide open receiver, but took a sack, which cost us 15 seconds. Tick, 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 tick. We've got to have a score.
Bro.
And that's basically the ball game. Losing like that hurts. Not because the system failed, but because it didn't. This game taught me a few things that actually matter when the pressure is real. First, no matter how good your offense is, bad decisions get punished faster in big moments. Second, taking what the defense gives you isn't playing scared. It's how you stay alive in the game. Third, down and distance matters more than any play you call. When you put yourself behind the sticks, you force yourself into bad decisions. And finally, even when the read is right, you still have to execute. A late throw, a missed block, a few inches off, that's all it takes. We didn't lose because the system broke. We lost because of a handful of small mistakes that showed up in the worst possible moments. But when the pressure showed up, the system still gave us answers, and that's why I trust it moving forward. Want to know more about the system I'm referring to in this video? Check out my breakdown on the Deebo offense and what makes it so hard to stop. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. I've got more content like this on the way. Peace.